Hello, welcome to another edition of Small Business Insights. I'm Don Emmett, Managing Director of Entrust Associates, and we're here today in Wendell, North Carolina at Unique Concepts with Greg Taylor, President, and Lynn Leach, CFO, and they're both part of the ownership team here at Unique Concepts. A very unique company, and we just had a nice tour. Greg, Lynn, why don't you tell us a little bit about Unique Concepts and how we got to where we are?
Okay, well, my husband started the company in 1994, and actually he and Greg and our other executive team member, David, used to work at a similar company when we first moved to town in 1988. And that company went through some changes, it got sold, etc., and Fred left and he worked for a custom home builder for about 6 months. And he said, you know, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to work for myself. So he left there and he started this company in, I think, March of 1994. And mainly did residential work at the time, kind of got started advertising in the Saturday News and Observer.
Okay.
And then after about 3 years, David Curry, who is our vice president and had worked with Fred at the previous company, we had gotten the business to the point where he was willing to, you know, come in as a partner. And so when David came in, that really kind of changed things to where we were doing commercial projects, and that's where
I think
we
you
are
want to say
now,
that this,
so.
we're a custom furniture
Oh, correct,
manufacturer.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, we absolutely are. We are a manufacturer of custom contract furniture. So we primarily work with businesses rather than residences.
Okay.
And we're not really a millwork firm. We kind of, you know, we'll do a little bit of wall panels. You know, we're not a production-oriented firm either. So we don't, I think you saw that in the shop. We're not cranking out multiple units of, you know, cabinets for a doctor's office or a school or something like that. So we're one-off, 100%, you know, custom all the time.
Hence the unique in
That's
the
right.
in the name.
That's right.
Correct.
And so we did some interesting furniture being made in the factory here at Wendell, and for a state that has a long history of furniture manufacturing, and you often hear a lot today about not too much of that manufacturing is still in North Carolina. But, so you guys have found obviously a niche, I guess, where you can be profitable and prosper and continue to obviously create jobs
Right.
here in North
Right.
Carolina.
Right.
Right.
You know, luckily, because we're in the one-off business, you can't compete with us if you're overseas. You know, you're not going to build one table in China and ship it back to North Carolina. So, so we are able to. That is a nice little niche for us, and our customers tend to be office furniture retailers.
Okay.
So that's we're able to sort of leverage their sales forces by maintaining relationships with them and expanding what they can offer to their clients through what we have to offer.
Okay. So as you know, my background is sales and marketing, so I'm trying to look at the channels that are involved, and I'm thinking maybe there's manufacturers reps or somewhere around the country that are representing you, or do you have your own team of sales reps that are calling on office furniture?
We have a multi-line rep who includes us as one of their lines in North and South Carolina, yes. And then we have a website, and you know, the website is not, we did it mostly as an online catalog, so that if Olga is one of our salespeople and she's meeting with someone, or let's say Don is one of our salespeople and he's meeting with someone, and he says, God, you know, Unique Concepts could be a fit here. Well, then he can just go to the website and pull up some examples of some things and show the customer. We did not do that thinking we're going to generate a bunch of sales off our website, but we actually have had some. We just shipped a table to Idaho this week, right?
Correct.
That came through the website. So, but we don't really have official representation outside of North and South Carolina.
Okay. Which I guess leads me to one of my typical question, I guess, is the growth strategy. Is there, are we happy just being in that world, or is the the next, get into Virginia, Tennessee, or the Midwest, Northeast? What's the strategy?
We do like to control our quality, and we do like to be able to service what we sell. So I think our growth, we would like just to have steady, smaller growth. Our facility can only handle so much at this time, which is, factors we look at also.
Now, we have done some calls up in the Virginia Beach area, because really our shop is closer to Virginia Beach than it is to Charlotte. So we've made a few inroads up there, and we had a rep up there until, about 6 months or so ago. And we'd love to have somebody up there, the DC, Virginia
Sure.
Beach, Richmond area. But it has not been a major focus. But we realize, I realize I can't be that person. I get up there from time to time, but I can't be up there often enough to, make a difference. And I mean, the same thing with Atlanta. I think, there's probably lots of opportunities in Atlanta if you've got the resources, and the contacts, I guess, to go after that, so.
I do believe we feel like in this area with Research Triangle Park, I mean, there's many corporations here, and the Charlotte area is a very good area for us. So I think we've really tried to concentrate on being able to get as much growth in business as we can from our, local surroundings.
And you mentioned, showed us one of your jobs, with MetLife
Correct.
in Rhode Island. Obviously, MetLife has recently made a rather significant investment in Cary, in the Triangle. So,
And we actually did some work for their headquarters
Okay.
when they moved here. And yes, that's been good. And we don't mind shipping stuff like that. That's,
that's good stuff.
that's good stuff.
And I guess, I'm sure they have, meetings with other division heads, and where'd you get that table? That's a good conversation for
Absolutely.
unique concepts, I would
That's
think.
right.
Absolutely.
So we saw some of your guys in the back. There may have been some gals I didn't notice. So which brings us to many small business owners and small businesses. The complaint, the lament that I often hear is the challenges of attracting, retaining, maintaining good people. And
Correct.
so how do you attack that issue?
I feel like one of our main attracting points is we offer a very strong benefit package, and we do have a profit sharing plan.
Oh, right.
So we're willing to share and with the employees if we have good times. And for the type of builders we like to attract, we do offer them the challenge of taking a project from the ground up, so that it's not a production type facility. And for certain people, I think that's very appealing.
So real ownership.
Correct.
By the employees, by the craftsmen
Right.
in the endeavor.
And they're given, a lot of leeway or wiggle room, and with the design of their product, not design, excuse me, with the way the project's fabricated. We listen to their input, so that I think the type of builders, craftsmen we like to employ, we do offer them an environment where they can express their artistic side to some point.
So a new hire, is it likely to be an apprenticeship sort of thing, or is it likely to be someone who's maybe a carpenter who's worked on some, building the road, the hills and valleys of the construction cycle, and maybe wants something a little more stable?
Yeah, most of our people do come in with quite a lot of cabinet experience, a lot of times, and so we don't have a true apprenticeship program here. We've talked about that, in the future, trying to maybe start drawing out of the local community colleges. People come out of the programs. A lot of our guys are getting a little bit older, and they're very good at what they do. They're very skilled, but you have to keep refueling the business, so.
But we do kind of need people that can hit the ground running,
Yeah.
that have some knowledge and experience, yeah.
And I guess good news, bad news is probably, given where you're located, or there's probably a lot of people with some pretty serious woodworking,
Correct.
furniture making skills that are available, and
Yes,
maybe unemployed or underemployed
That is very
somewhere
true.
else.
Right, but as Greg pointed out, the challenge seems to be finding people who are younger. You're not learning those kinds of skills in high school like you did when we were in high school. So there's,
Which shop, that was a standard class when I was a
right,
kid. Yeah.
right, exactly. And I'm not aware that that's really being offered in Wake County, except there is a technical high school, and maybe they have that, but Cedar Ridge over in, I think, Orange County, they have a cabinet making,
Okay.
award-winning cabinet making program. But for the most part, it's, I think our work pool tends to be on the older side.
They do.
Even when we have to advertise for a position, we seem to get, people who are closer to our age than, closer to our kids' ages.
Yeah.
So.
I understand. Yeah,
And
where is the next generation coming from?
exactly,
from.
right. And we're members of the Architectural Woodwork Institute, I guess for at least 15 years or so. And that's a major focus of that group, is the developing the next generation of woodworkers. So it's not a problem that's unique to us at all. It's a nationwide, situation. And so they have competitions and, shops bigger shops that are able to do more of an apprentice kind of thing. But it's a major focus for us, because we all know that construction in general, I think there's a fear that the workforce is kind of aging out, and we need to make sure we know where the next generation is going to come from.
Interesting stuff. So how many people are you currently employing in the?
11? Is that right?
11 employees. We have a full-time finisher, and then we have our 8 builders, and then we have our office personnel.
I guess 7 builders, right?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
7 builders. Do my math.
Yeah.
So then the strategy, I guess, the website has become kind of an accidental sales tool, sales channel. There's reps out there. I guess there's, word of mouth and reputation, and I guess working with the local office supply, office furniture retailers, and allowing, and I guess designers, architects you'd mentioned, that
Right.
letting them know that for those companies that aren't looking for a cookie cutter type solution,
Right.
or
Right. Well, so one of the things I do is I do a lot of educational presentations for architects.
okay.
So through the AWI, we have some, 4-credit presentations. So, you bring in lunch or coffee or something like that, and then you offer them an hour of education. And it can't be proprietary. I can't go in and just talk about us, but
sure.
obviously I can, take business cards and things like that, make them aware of the company. And so that's an outreach that we do with the design community, as well as, we're sponsors for AIA, so I go to their events whenever possible. We go to events with the International Interior Design Association. I'm involved in another construction group. So a lot of that kind of after hours sort of networking kind of stuff too, and that's been very important.
I'm sure. As you look forward down the pike, what do you see for unique concepts? You see, you mentioned slow, moderate growth. Consider maybe making an acquisition for more space, or what kind of an exit strategy have you thought about, or have you even thought about that?
At one time we did actually expand our facility, and the downturn in 07, 08 caused us to regroup
some
a little
pain
bit.
and,
Yes. And I think we learned some stuff during that time about market share and what areas we thought we were strongest in, and what was best for the company as far as what we wanted from the company. And so at this point, I think we would like to be able to take the projects that we really are proud to do, and not just worry about trying to get everything that's offered out there, on the books or whatever, and really just excel at the special projects that we like to do and be proud of them.
Was there a time or an event that, looking back, when starting a new business, that's you know, probably you said you coming out of it working for other corporations and then starting business. That's a risky endeavor. Most, you know, taking that step is a big one for a lot of entrepreneurs. Looking back, was there an event or a time you said that when you knew that I think this is going to work? You know, we got that big job, or anything you could point to?
You know, Fred, Lynn's husband, our retired partner now, to me, he's the one who really took the big step. I came in as a builder and a small partner into the business when he first started. But like I said, I was a small partner, and it wasn't. He took the big step, and I think I just talked myself into a hole here.
Well, you know, the first couple of years were challenging.
Yes.
You know, and he did not want to. He wanted to plow every dollar that he made back into the business, and I just wanted to tell him to get a job. You know, and it was because he started the business in '94. We had our second son about 6 months later. You know, and so it was certainly challenging. But
it was play.
Exactly. I think when David came on board in 1997, it said that we had gotten established to the point where he felt comfortable coming on board. And two, David has such great relationships in the office furniture world that it just sort of made us the go-to company for contract furniture, custom
Correct.
contract furniture.
I was heading that way until I lost track of my train of thought. But I think when we really moved out of the residential market and got into the commercial end, it's when we really felt like maybe we had something that was going to be sustainable and good for us.
Right.
Yes.
And I think one of the things we're trying to do now is we, you know, some of our customers we've been working with for over 20 years. I mean, and some of them, the relationships actually go back before this company existed, you know, but we kind of realized that with all of our customers, there's a couple or three people who they come to us all the time and they're really comfortable with us, but, you know, maybe newer salespeople, newer designers, custom furniture is kind of scary. And so we're starting a new program next month, Custom Furniture 101, where we're going to go in and have more of a conversation with the customers and try to raise that comfort level for people who are a little intimidated by what we do. And so, you know, we love the people that we've been working with for 20 years, and the ones when we go in and do a presentation and somebody stands up and tells everybody why they need to work with us, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. But we want more of those people within, you know, the customers. And so we're going to try to, you know, help to establish a program that makes it easier and to understand what we do and how to work with us and how working with us makes sense for them. So that's something we're excited about. And we have a new graduate of UNC Greensboro who's helping with some social media posts and things. So we got all that stuff set up a year or so ago, I guess, and I just really don't understand all of that, but I do appreciate the importance of it, and so we've got a young lady who is helping me with that. So she and I communicate. I tell her what's going on, and she does the actual
way to get young people involved in business.
Correct.
Yeah, and she has a real interest in furniture. She has gotten a job now, but she really likes furniture design and things like that. So we're kind of, you know, hoping to stay in touch with her, and maybe there'll be an opportunity down the road that you know, she could actually, you know, work with us.
So looking back, what advice might you given yourself 20 years ago, or to maybe a young entrepreneur, someone thinking about stepping out of the comfort of a corporate job and maybe doing their own thing? What would you say?
Well, one thing, you got to be willing. I remember my sons are almost 24 and 22 now, and I remember one time they asked my husband, they said, "Dad, you're the boss. How come you work so much?" And he said, "That's why." But I think, you know, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes and to work the long hours, and, you know, because when he started, he did everything. And, so he'd go meet with a customer, he'd come back, he'd do drawings, he'd build the stuff, he'd do the billing. Finally, I took pity on him and said, okay, I'll help you with the accounting end of things, but, I think you gotta be prepared for just the fact that you're gonna work a whole lot that first year or two, and just be ready for that.
And I think if you can kind of try to figure out where your market is and target your market early on, I think the earlier you can do that, it will help you, develop sales, which will make your growth quicker, and it can make things a lot easier if you spend a little bit of time.
Right.
Defining your market and making
Yeah.
sure your market
Exists.
and is sustainable.
Yeah.
Is
Exactly.
it big enough
Right.
that can,
Right.
and you can fulfill a need or demand in that
Correct.
in that marketplace.
Right. Well, and I know when I first came on full time, because obviously when Fred started, I had a job, because of course, as far as the bank is concerned, he had no job for the first couple of
Yeah.
years, right? So I had a job, and, I was always helping him, but, I had to decide whether to continue doing what I was doing or to come on board here. And one of my friends said, I don't think there's anything you can do that would be better than working in your family business. So I took that advice to
That's good
heart.
advice.
And then David said, I think that you should get involved with the interior business designers, I think it was called at the time. It's now IIDA. And that was probably one of the best things I ever did, was I jumped in with both feet to that professional organization and just met a lot of people, developed a lot of relationships. So again, they do a lot of things in the evenings and on the weekends and things like that, so it takes your time, and it takes time away from your family, but it helps you to develop relationships with people, and that's what drives business, so.
And I think you do have to believe in yourself and what you're doing also, because there's going to be times that you going to have to make sacrifices, and
doubt.
Probably financial sacrifices that you hope that you can, recover from. And, so you do. I think you have to, believe that you have a market, and that you have a product that is marketable.
We know, the concept of a shortcut or the easy way out is attractive, but for the most part, they haven't developed a way other than perseverance and hard work to get to success. So,
Correct.
Right.
what a great story. If
you.
people want to get in touch with you or check out your website, how might they do that?
UniqueConcepts.com.
UniqueConcepts.com.
Correct.
And
Local phone number would be 919-366-2001.
great stuff. I want to thank Greg and Lynn for inviting
Thank
us
you.
into Unique Concepts today. And thank you for tuning into another edition of the Small Business Insights. I'm Don Emmett from Entrust Associates saying, see you next time.
Thank you.